So you saw him on the... You saw him...
To be truthful, the two dogs, they went into the bunker. I thought, well, they're sniffing about that. And I went over there, and there Paul was, bound and gagged, in the sand, in the bunker.
And then what happened?
Well, then he was coming round, because I think he had had a bit of a night the night before, so I tapped him on the cheeks gently like that, and when I was tapping the cheeks and I'd undone the stringy thing and string around your ankles, you were really relieved, came round, didn't you? And I took you back home to Anne for a cup of tea, a couple of bit of toast, and the dogs were very pleased to have found him. He'd been there all night.
What was this? Was this some sort of prank? I mean, was it a stag do or something?
Well, I didn't want to be too nosy about it. I wanted to look after him, get on the phone to his friend, have him collected and off the bloody premises.
Has he kept in touch?
We have, really, haven't we? Because we found that your wife was quite friendly with one of my daughters, I think. I remember we haven't seen enough of each other, actually.
Who else would you like to question?
OK, David.
Yes, when you say he's he's your driver, I mean, he's picked you up on occasions.
He was the driver on several series of Peep Show.
So you're a professional chauffeur, are you?
He's not allowed to answer,
He's a professional driver, yes.
Have you ever picked me up?
He's not allowed to answer.
Are we allowed to see your hands?
Yeah, you can hold your hands out.
Oh, you could hold a pint of lager. What nonsense.
What's wrong with those?
I've got tiny hands.
Have you?
Yeah, probably smaller
You're
than
my
his.
kind of lady.
David, tell us about the whole business with the pints, then.
What Paul told me is that he always chooses to drink bottled beer because when he holds a pint,
Wait, this isn't at the wheel, is it? This is...
No, but on a night out, he chooses to drink bottled beer rather than pints because he gets laughed at for holding a pint glass because he sort of has to use two hands.
Weren't that small?
Are you sure they're not serving it in buckets?
Maybe there's some course you could go on to make your hands bigger.
Should speak to Ronnie about that. Now, what about Sarah, Lee?
OK, so how old were you?
It was only a couple of months ago.
Are you a regular in his shop?
Yeah, buy a lot of chocolate.
And what happened while you were in charge?
I was trying to shut one of the windows because it was quite cold, and that you had like quite high ceilings. You know those sticks that have got the hook on the end that you can shut a window, and it sort of went through the window.
What's the shop called?
Paul's.
It's called Paul's, is it?
Yeah.
Just Paul's?
Yeah.
Not Paul's shop?
No. Well, it's
Paul's.
obviously a shop.
To be fair, Marks and Spencer's.
What about this boy who got his head stuck
I forgot about
in
him.
a box of crisps?
Well,
How did that come about?
It was at the end of the school time, sort of 4 o'clock, and there was a rush of little kids, and one of them just wanted to get himself some crisps out the box, and it was the last one, and he got his head stuck in because he sort of went in.
The cardboard boxes with all the crisps in
with
the hole?
hole. Yeah. He couldn't quite reach, so he went
put
in
his head in,
first.
and it was stuck?
Yeah.
And you couldn't think of any way to unstick him?
Well, I don't really do kids.
The crisp box thing doesn't ring true. They're not that big, are they? You have to put your head in.
If it's a little boy, he hasn't got a head, no offence, the size of yours.
His arms are of reasonable length, presumably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We need a guess from you, Lee. Is Paul Ronnie's bunker buddy, David's tiny-handed driver, or Sarah's unfortunate newsagent?
He does look like a driver.
Can I have a look at the back of your head?
Back of his head?
Yeah. Do you recognise the back of his head, Julian?
But I don't believe he's a northern shopkeeper because his shirt is too nicely ironed.
See, this is the dilemma now. The dilemma is...
You're saying there's no chance of it being
It's
Ronnie's...
unlikely, but I'm not saying it's definite, right? I want that to be true more than any other story I've ever heard in my life. Because that's what I want to see Ronnie doing in the big chair next time. You're not going to believe it. I can't do the voice. All right, I can't do the voice. And if I could, I wouldn't keep doing it.
impression of Rob?
No,
No.
I've never felt the need to do an impression of Rob. No.
Do you want the glasses?
I love the glasses, yes. There we are. How about it? There we are. Oh, my word. Goodness me. And in a packed programme tonight. Good Lord, you get vertigo in those.
Oh, God. Nobody without these, you know. God.
So, what are you going to go for?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's the driver.
You think it's David's driver? Holly?
Yeah, I think it's David's driver.
I think it might be Sarah because
Right.
she looks like the kind of person that could break a window and almost kill a small boy in 10 minutes. I'm going to overrule my team and say it's Sarah.
Oh, bold.
OK,
I'm
you're
gonna go with
saying
my
that
gut
it's
feeling,
Sarah and the
and I'm
news
gonna say
agent. OK. Paul, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Paul, I'm David's driver, and I don't think time's put in the hands are small.
Yes, well, if ever there was a harsher warning of the dangers of a fascist state, I'd like to see it. Thank you very much, Paul. So, at the end of that round, David's team have 2 points and Lee's team have 4. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth but also against the clock. Again, they don't know whether they're about to read out a true fact about themselves or a made-up lie that they've never seen before. David's team are currently behind, so they need to catch up. And we will start with... it's David.
As a child, I used to play board games against a bucket with a face painted on it. I called this bucket Stephen Tatlock.
Wow, what games did you play?
Monopoly. I played a game called Diplomacy. And
Even then, you were thinking of becoming a politician.
yeah, even then, I'm not a politician.
Why Stephen Tatlock?
Well, it was basically named after a friend of mine. Who was
Why did you play with Stephen Tatlock? He had no hands.
Stephen Tatlock wasn't always there. But after I painted the face on the bucket, he was.
Did he paint the face on the bucket?
I think my dad painted the face.
Your dad was involved in this sad story? You've decided you haven't got any friends, but lucky day for you is this is Stephen Tatlock.
What can I say? My father saw me talking to a bucket and decided to accept that side of my nature.
Did your father invent Henry Hoovers afterwards?
And this is your girlfriend.
So if you were playing Monopoly, you'd have your go, and then you'd run round and pretend to be Stephen, would
I
you?
wouldn't pretend to be Stephen, but I found I had to roll for Stephen. And Stephen would need help moving his...
Did Stephen ever win?
Yes.
What do you think, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
What do you think?
I don't know many people who have an imaginary friend with a surname.
He's one of the few. Did you call him Stephen Tatlock or Stephen? Did you say,
called
it's
him-
your turn, Stephen Tatlock? You must do it quickly, or otherwise you'll go the way of the other buckets.
Usually I'd call him Stephen.
Oh, you were quite friendly then.
Yeah.
Did Stephen Tatlock know there was an imposter?
Imposter.
I call it the imposter.
No, I never mentioned Stephen Tatlock to Stephen Tatlock.
Did you ever mention the real Stephen Tatlock to the bucket?
I think probably not. No, I think that would
They
have
were
been...
blissfully unaware of
We've
each
sort
other's
of been
presence.
playing with levels of reality. I don't want you to think that I felt I was in any way being unfaithful to the real
Oh,
Stephen
yeah.
Tatlock.
I'm not picturing
Or
this as
vice
some sort of
versa.
romantic film. I can't imagine the real Stephen Tatlock walking in on the game and you go, Stephen! Stephen,
So what do you think then, Lee? Time for a guess. Truth or lie?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Don't know why.
Well, look at David. We know why. What do you think, Holly?
I think, I don't think it's true.
I might ask my friend, Boris Dickey. What do you think, Boris Dickey? Oh, Boris Dickey says no. It's a lie.
So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
You and Boris say it's a lie. OK,
Boris
David.
Dickey!
Boris Dickey. David, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. When David was a child, he didn't play board games against a bucket that he called Stephen Tatlock. Next, it's Ronnie.
Oh, my goodness me. So glad I've been asked. There we are. Last week, I actually had to go into a shop and buy 4 candles.
Right.
Can I just check, Ronnie? When you say 4 candles, did you mean 4 candles or fork handles? You can have that one if you like.
I went in to buy 4 candles.
Which one, though? 4 candles or fork handles?
4 candles.
Not 4 candles.
No, 4 candles.
Do you mean handles? Do you mean...
So that would be confusing, wouldn't it?
Can I just say, can you please let me have my childhood dream? Can I please say to Ronnie Corbett, do you mean handles for forks?
No, 4 candles.
So candles that you liked?
4 candles, yes.
Where was this?
Sort of Addiscombe Road. Do you know where Addiscombe Road is?
Well, give me a clue. Tell me the town.
Well, it's London.
Oh, London town.
London.
And it's a hardware shop, and it was, you know...
So you went in and you said, can I have 4 candles?
Yes.
What did the man say to you?
He came back with 4 candles.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. When he came back with the 4 candles, were they 4 candles or were they handles for forks?
There were 4 candles.
Lee, is it truth or is it a lie? Tell me now.
Oh, it's just... I want this to be true more than anything I've ever heard in my life. What do you think, Julian?
Well, it's a legend, so it must be true.
Do you think it's true? Holly?
I think it's true. I want it to be true.
I want it to be true.
Ronnie, is it the truth or were you telling a lie?
Well, I wanted it to be true, but I'm afraid it's...
Oh, it was a lie. Yes, last week, Ronnie didn't have to go into a shop and buy 4 candles.
When you say 4 candles...
It's a lie, although Ronnie does love shopping. As if he's good, he gets to ride in the trolley. And that buzzer signals time is up. And it's the end of the show. And I can reveal that, good Lord, Lee has romped home to victory by 8 points to 4.
Well done, team.
But it's not just a team game. And my individual liar of the week this week is Ronnie Corbett.
Thank you very much.
Yes, he's won BAFTAs and Royal Television Society awards, but I think being named Liar of the Week by me, Rob Brydon, will surely be regarded as the pinnacle of his success. Good night.